first thing I wanted to say was that recently Manlin and I had attended a Leonard Cohen concert, and I wanted to borrow from Leonard the words he used when he took the stage and greeted his audience. And he said, "Thank you all for coming tonight. I realize that you've all made a great sacrifice, both geographical and financial, to be here, and we sincerely appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. And today I realize that it's not how you plan the wedding, it's the moments you spend with the people that you actually take away from it. And what made the wedding is all of you here today. We know that, we appreciate that. Thank you very much." Last night, lying in bed, I prayed it wouldn't rain. And as I laid there thinking about prayer and rain, it reminded me of a poem I'd written quite a long time ago. Dave and I did not coordinate this up. And I thought I would read it. The poem was called "What If the Rains Never Came?" What if the rains never came, and he stood alone beside his home, just a fool in his boat? What if the rains never came? Could he face the crowd and speak out loud as they slandered his name? What if the rains never came? Could he stand strong, steadfast and true, while apart from the world he grew? What if the rains never came? Would he pity his labor, question why he believed, as he destroyed in anger all that he had achieved? What if the rains never came, and he stood alone beside his home, just a man in his fate? Well, today the rains did come. And with them came all the nourishing and cleansing properties that only they can bestow. And maybe with them also came a reminder that no matter how detailed are the plans we make, the truth is that life lies there temptingly, just beyond our grasp and out of our control. Give me a second. I have all my thoughts organized on different pages. I set aside time today to do this, and I had the time, but I ended up just worrying about the weather. After Man and I announced our engagement, a lot of people asked me, what took me so long, what at that moment made me decide to propose to her after we'd been together for so long? Well, there was never any doubt that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with Man, growing old together with my best friend. As many people will tell me, many people here in this room said, "You'll never be better than Man. He's the best thing that's ever happened to you." And whatever that was said to me, I would never voice an objection, because I knew it to be the truth. But as people kept asking, why did I propose to Man, I thought about the question. And one thing always came to mind. There was a time when we were driving up north to my aunt's cottage, and we stopped at an outlet mall. And as we were wont to do, we would split up. I went to a sporting goods store, she went to the Corningware store. Both agreeing that we would meet up later. And as much as I have a fascination with sporting goods, she has a greater fascination, I guess, with cookware, because I got bored first and went looking for her. And I remember as I entered the Corningware store and I was strolling along among the pots and pans and casserole dishes, trying to look like I belonged, I don't think I did a very good job. Because within seconds, the manager came up and asked me, "Are you looking for something?" And without thinking, I responded, "Yes, my wife." Oh. And he had a chuckle, we smiled, and he parted. And then as I walked along the front of the store, peering down each aisle looking for her, I realized a couple things. I realized that was the first time I'd ever referred to Man as my wife. And the second thing I realized was how good it felt. And I think at that moment, the plan was set, which would then involve her sister, and would grow to involve quite a few co-conspirators, including her sister's husband Deb, their son Barney, her brother Howard, a good friend of Howard's Vincent, and Vincent's fiance, who would actually wear the ring through customs when they arrived. By the strictest definition of the terms, we were an international jewel smuggling ring. And as the people who know us well know, that this part is important, so I just want to get to the right part there. I'm sorry. It's not very long. I often acknowledge among close family and friends that Man deserves most of the credit for our relationship. That of all the good things in a relationship, she's responsible for 95% of them. I occasionally have a good idea, but a broken clock is right twice a day, and even a blind squirrel finds the occasional nut. But the 5% I do get right, I make a big deal out of that. Whereas, man, she's underground, doing the real work. Seemingly undetected, she's building and reinforcing the foundation, which is our love. And she does it all with a quiet dignity. I can never tell you, words will never express the admiration, the respect, and the inspiration I have for your quiet dignity. And anyone who has spent any time with you at all cannot leave your presence untouched without knowing the thoughtfulness and the generosity which is your spirit that resides inside you. And although it's not a goal I ever expect to attain, I promise you I will spend the rest of my life striving to be worthy of your love. Wow. Oh. That'll do.